Hey Magicbus, what's the best devil fruit in the game? That is an excellent question, little Timmy. Let me answer that one for you. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and like I said to little Timmy, that random guy who was AFK in a lobby, thanks for being a character in my video, by the way. Let's talk about the best devil fruit in all of BloxFruits, and I'm talking about which is the best for grinding, which is the best for travel, which is the best for PvP. We're going to talk about all of these things and more. I'm going to help you pick out the best devil fruit for you, and we're going to decide which fruit is overall the greatest fruit in game. By the way, Buff Phoenix, I haven't added anybody to the crew yet. A lot of people message me on Discord, but the idea was mostly if you meet me in game and you're like, hey, let me join your crew, and you've got a decent enough bounty, like, you've got to have more bounty than me, then yes, I will let you join the crew. Just meet me in game. I play public servers a lot. Alrighty, guys. First thing, the easy one that we can get out of the way. Undisputably, the best fruit for transportation, the fastest, and honestly, once you get used to it, pretty easy to fly. Obviously, your choices are what? Phoenix is pretty fast. Dragon is relatively fast. Fire is kind of fast. Ice walks on water, so it's actually super fast if you have Mink. And of course, there is the light fruit, which is the best fruit in the game for traveling. Some people aren't comfortable with the light fruit, so they struggle a little bit. They use something else. But if you're purely trying to get around, the light fruit is the best fruit for you, especially once it is awakened. This is the best fruit for hunting devil fruit with, the best fruit for doing like quests, like your race quests and so on, because you can move around very quickly, so on and so forth. Traveling is a good time when you have the light fruit. It's also really good when you're making YouTube videos and you fly away from the bank area or the cafe and you need to go and get new items. Yeah, really, really good for that. Up next, let's talk about the strongest fruit to grind with. Now, I want to explain to you guys why I have made my decision. Here is the flame fruit. Relatively good for grinding. When it's awakened, it becomes a bit more of a PvP fruit, but pre-awakening, it's pretty good for grinding. It's got bullets, it's got the beam, which is one of the reasons it's not the best. It can fly, and its flight is relatively fast for when you have to go all the way back to the guy in order to get a brand new quest. So what makes it bad? What would make a fruit bad for grinding? Logia, good thing. Bullets, good thing. Bad thing, though. Watch where this man goes when I shoot him with the beam. He's all the way over there now. This is terrible for grinding. Knockback is the worst thing for grinding. Again, if we use column, there's going to be a bit of a knockback. It's not too bad, all right? We won't put it down too much. And then again, bomb. When we use the bomb, boom. You throw it down on top of them. There's no knockback. It's perfectly fine. But if I throw it at them, there will be a knockback. And that's what sort of pushes these fruits away from being the best for grinding. The same goes for Magma. Great DPS, but it's a little bit slow in its to get back to the NPCs in order to get quests, and it has too many knockback moves. So what's the best fruit that has almost no knockback? Is really fast flight, so you can get back to the NPCs? Well, it's light again. Light only has one knockback move, and that is kick. So we're assuming, because in grinding, it's all about when you can grind from as well. So what's great about light is that if I pick up light as a level 1, I can use it straight away to travel. It's got a sword for slashing for grinding, just like how ice is good for grinding in that sense. And 3 of my abilities, your light beam, your whatever the unawakened swords of judgment is, and your sky beam barrage, all 3 of them have 0 knockback. They are pure damage. And then light kick just has knockback, which is, it's fine. You just use it very specifically. So the fruit's a Logia. It's got a fast flight, almost no knockback, comes with a sword, and then when you awaken it, which I haven't done, everybody always gets angry at me, your one knockback skill kind of becomes not a knockback skill. You can still knock back with it if you use it in a certain way, but just like with Flame, if you use it correctly, there's almost no knockback on your 3rd skill, meaning you can group mobs up, use all of your abilities to kill them very, very quickly, and then use your super fast flight to get back to the NPC to get a brand new quest. And that is why light is undisputably like the best for all-round grinding. Even with bosses, it is relatively good, but the movement speed, the flexibility, the no knockback, It makes it really good for grinding all the way to max level, and it's also what I used all the way to max level as a devil fruit user. Now, there is another answer to this question, and I'm sure a lot of people have been thinking this is, what if I'm not a devil fruit user? What if I'm a sword main or a melee main, and I don't have much in devil fruit stats? Well, that's sort of where you've got to start thinking about your fruit as utility. So, what fruit has stuns, and it is good for getting around? That is the ice fruit. The ice fruit is great for luring mobs in with ice shards, and ice bird is a stun. Well, I used the wrong ability because I have a small brain. Ice bird is also a stun. It freezes them for a little bit, and obviously your best ability, the epoch, allows you to stun them, and then you can switch to your sword and sort of just finish them off. It's also a low gear, so it's super, super useful. Again, as a sword user or a melee user, you could just use light as well, and just purely rely on light's low gear and movability, and then just kill them with your swords. But whenever you don't have your low gear abilities, you really need to be able to use things like Ice Bird to freeze and the Epoch to freeze, so that you can sort of get the advantage with your sword and use your knockbacks, or even if it's just used to get your cooldowns off your sword so you can do real damage. So although light is pretty good if you're a sword user or a melee user, ice is probably the best for its stuns and for its flexibility, and the fact that it runs on water pretty quickly, especially if you're a mink with, say, agility. Now, finally, what is the strongest fruit for PvP? This is an amazing one because people are going to get angry. Even if I say this, people are still going to get angry, okay? First of all, this is my disclaimer. If you're really good with light, you can be good in PvP. If you're really good with dark or quake or dough or ice or any of the fruits that people use to PvP, you can be good in PvP. I completely acknowledge that. Nobody is saying your fruit is bad, okay? Calm down, little Timmy. But in order to figure out which fruit is the strongest in PvP, I think we need to determine which fruit is the most idiot-proof. Which fruit can make anybody good in PvP? Which fruit is the easiest to learn? Which fruit has overwhelming damage, particle effects for confusion, and once you've got it, you kind of never have to change. A fruit that could make anybody good in PvP with a little bit of practice. Yeah, ice is good. Yeah, dark is good. You know, even things like quake. Really, really good. Little bit of practice, you can be great with quake. But not everybody can be good when you have to switch between, like, your combats and your fruit's abilities and so on and so on. When you've got to have combos. No. This fruit doesn't even need combos. That's right. It's the worst fruit in the game, boys. The absolute worst fruit in the game. The one we all hate in PvP because all those noobs with no skill whatsoever, they're always using this fruit to get PvP kills. That's the dragon fruit, guys. The dragon fruit is easily the best fruit for PvP because anybody can be good at the game if they have the dragon fruit. And yes, if you are good at PvP, you can beat dragon fruit users easily. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially if you're Quake or Dark. Or if you just use Pole version 2. Anything that stuns can destroy dragon users. In the same way it can destroy anybody. But when it comes down to someone like me, who maxed their account like 2 weeks ago, doesn't really have much PvP experience, I can take this dragon fruit and I can get more wins than losses in PvP. Simply because it's just broken. It needs to be nerfed. This fruit is not good for grinding. It's okay for traveling because, like, Dragonflight isn't bad. It's only good in PvP. And there is always going to be that meme that people who are bad at PvP, PvP with Dragon. Because Dragon makes PvP so much easier. And you can't help but agree with it. Dragon is so easy to PvP with it. Even when you are outside of your dragon form, your abilities are actually still insane and are really hard to deal with, especially to other people who are newer in PvP. But I am curious, in the comment section down below, let me know what your PvP setup is, or let me know what your fruit is that you PvP with, because Dragon isn't a real PvP fruit. It's just a broken fruit. It's just OP at the moment. Eventually, it'll probably get nerfed, and there will be balance restored to the world of PvP. But right now, any noob can use the Dragon fruit and get kills in PvP, and that's why I think that it is the strongest PvP fruit. Its potential is insane. Yes, there are fruits that are better if you're good at the game, but this one makes anyone good at the game. I don't know how many times I can say it. People will still not understand. People will still disagree. But dragon is undoubtedly the strongest because even idiots like me can use it. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for today's video. So, to recap, the strongest fruit for getting around, definitely light. Strongest fruit for grinding if you're a devil fruit grinder, definitely light. Strongest fruit for grinding if you're a sword or melee main. Best utility is the way you would kind of see it. Probably ice. I think it's ice, but some people might say dark, or at least awakened dark. And then the best fruit for PvP, because anyone can PvP with it. The dragon fruit, guys. Super, super easy. And it's not even that hard to get anymore, because the 1% spawn rate just seems so common now. I don't even know what to do with that information. Let me know in the comment section down below if you disagree, or just whatever your favorite fruit to grind with is, whichever fruit you think is the strongest. And if you're a PvPer, I'd love to hear what fruit you main for PvP. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell to never miss an upload, and I will see you all tomorrow with another video.